Hey guys, today I'm doing a video of this 1910 to 1912 Dayton Type 65 toilet bowl oscillator. I actually got this fan on a local auction site, just popped up randomly, and I saw the brass blades and I thought, oh, must be interesting. I took a look at it and it turned out to be one of these Daytons. So of course I bid on it and I ended up winning it. I've always liked these Dayton toilet bowl oscillator type fans. They're quite desirable among collectors, and I never actually got a chance to find one because obviously, since they're desirable, they're also quite expensive. This one popped up and I got it for a pretty decent price, I'd say. And what makes this one really interesting compared to other Daytons is not only the lack of the Dayton badge there, but if you look on the tag here, it's a 200 volt model, 200 to 230 volts, 50 hertz. And this is actually the only 200 volt export model Dayton toilet bowl I've ever seen personally. I know Dayton, Deal, General Electric, and Westinghouse made some special order type export fans in these voltages, and it's pretty cool to actually find one. I've never actually seen one from Dayton in 200 volts. So it was pretty cool to find this one. Of course I bid on it, won it, and rewired it, polished the paint. I decided to keep it as original. I just straightened out the cage, fixed some repairs with a little bit of silver solder, took off all the rust, rebuilt the electrical, and it runs just fine. It's got a really cool startup sound to it. I'll turn it to the side here before I do that. It's quite heavy, just under 30 pounds. There's the side of it. And obviously you can see where it got its nickname, the toilet bowl, from the oscillator shape. And I'll turn it to the back. I love the massive motor on these things. Yeah, just pretty much just rewired it, gave it a light polish, replaced all the grommets and wiring, replaced some of the fiber washers, and left the rest of the fan as original. And yeah, runs beautifully. So we'll start it up here. The oscillator is engaged. This is, to my knowledge, a much earlier Dayton, as the later variants had a clutch up here on top of the oscillator that would disengage the oscillator. On this one it's lacking. And the other feature there is the cage. A lot of earlier Daytons, like the Type 50s, had this type of cage with the much larger open ring and the lack of a badge. And notice that not many actually have this cage. I think I've only seen one other toilet bowl with this type of cage. A lot of them have a much smaller center ring there. And it's also a non-parallel ring type cage. The front ring here is a smaller diameter than the rear ring, but that leads me to believe it's an earlier model from about 1910, maybe as late as 1912, but I'm not exactly sure. But either way, I'll just get on with it and start it up. Here's high. A really slow sweep on the oscillator. There's medium. Not much difference in the speed since I'm running it off 240 volts and it was designed for slightly lower voltage. And low. Might need to adjust the oscillator a little bit, but otherwise it seems to run okay. Back up to medium. High. And of course, off. All right. Thanks for watching.